There's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. One that for the past 30 years has traveled the world teaching others. A pioneer in America of the fighting science of Savate. One who codified the sports of this fighting style. One who has produced clubs, champions, and continues to develop. Listen to words.
Well, hey guys, we're back with you, and we're here, and we missed this past Monday, and I'm going to tell you why. We had some technical difficulties last week. Our computer crashed. We had it fixed, reinstalling programs, and so on and so forth. It was a nightmare, but we're back and running. We've got everything moving along, and now you're going to start seeing everything back on schedule and on plan. I want you guys to continue sending me those questions because that's the way we learn. And sometimes by me sharing my experiences with you all can see that you guys are not alone. Things have happened before. And if that can bring some light, the best light for you. The following question is a very good question. And it's from a student and been a long time student of mine. And he says, Professor, I want to open up a Savate school. How much do I need? So it's very simple. Okay. I'm going to tell you my experiences of how I started. And if that can elaborate with you on how to start a Savate school, run one effectively, and produce with it. Okay. And we're going to divide those three: how to start one, how to run one effectively, and how to produce. Okay. And we're going to say, I'm going to tell you all, I started teaching Savate at the age of 18. Okay. 2 weeks ago on the 20th, I turned 53 years old. So you can do the math of how long I've been teaching Savate. I have taught Savate not only here in the United States, throughout the United States, different cities and different states. I had a club in France. I taught in France. Different culture, different meaning, different whole spectrum. And I'm going to tell you the differences. We have clubs in Brazil as we speak. We have associate clubs in Mexico as well. Okay. We have a couple of movements in Belgium, in Italy, of course, France. But let's take that apart from it. When I was teaching at 18, I was teaching out of a martial arts school that was already established. That martial arts school was North Texas Martial Arts. It was run by Master Tommy Burks, by Greg Ellis, and I forget the other gentleman's Bill Sosa. And you had other groups there that went in that taught that they were more like clubs. You know, you had a Ganju Kembo club with Grandmaster Rick Peralta, which was, to me, he was not my teacher, but to me he was like an older uncle, a dear friend of mine, and the same way with Sensei Bill Sosa. He was not my teacher in Aikido, but he was one that was a mentor. He had a lot of conversations with me, especially when we first started school. Okay. When I moved back, or moving back and forth, I was still, was going to college overseas. I was going to college. I came back over here in 91. I said to myself, you know what? The school in Laredo was doing well. My father and my uncle were running it as a club. They were running the schools there. It was a school, actually, a full school, but they were doing it more as a community civic duty, trying to get kids off the street, which we've always never left that. But I'm going to tell you the difference. When I came down, it was, and I had spoken with Sifu Kisi, and I had spoken with John Ayers, and I said, I'm going to open up a school. When I'm gone, you guys run it. Okay. And that's how it happened. I went up and I searched for a space. I got a commercial warehouse kind of space. Okay. And in that commercial warehouse, the rent was $500 plus $50 electricity. Um, and so it would be $550 per month. I said to myself, okay, we're going to do that. Everybody put down their home phone numbers for as a business phone. We even had a business phone at the time. And we started off. To me, I had already had a movement of Savate. I already had people that were training with me for several years, 3 years. Out of those that were training with me at North Texas Martial Arts, which we had about 16 individuals, only 4 of them came over. At that time frame, we were charging like $40 per month, I believe. So we did a lot of advertisement to gain people inside. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, we needed to keep the doors open, right? And we did that. I'll go to France to come back, and I will teach heavily December and the summer months, and I'll go back and go back to school. That's the way it was. Okay. Well, during that time frame, I learned a lot of mistakes. I learned a lot of things to go forward. One, if you have a martial arts school and you're not running a contractual agreement, whether it's 6 months, a year, don't make it past the year, a year and a half, 2 years. I've seen martial artists that go and even go 3 years, okay, on contracts. Do you need them? A lot of people frown on that. People say we don't do contracts. Come over here and work out with them. We don't do contracts. Well, guess what happened to me one time? That's a horror story. It was a Christmas. We had no contract. I had just gotten back from France fully, and no students on December. I had to pull out of my pocket to cover the amount because the Aikido club had gone dark in November, and they were going to go dark for 3 months because they had surgery. The Kempo club decided to do the same thing. So I was stuck with a bill. I was stuck with, $550 at that time. It's not a lot of money, but it's still a bill. Okay. At the same time, in January, I did my first of the out of town seminars, and I did one to a group that was interested in Savate from New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and a great boxer, great individual, and he gave me a lot of work and a lot of work to do for the school, and a lot of work to do on myself, and that is when you start. And he told me this, Paul, when you start teaching, period. I don't care whether you're in a, your backyard, your garage, the rec center, the YMCA, or you physically have a location, you become a professional and maintain that ability. If you have rent to pay, you better be doing contracts, or else one day you're not going to have anybody and your school's going to go down. Well, guess what? That's since then we've been doing contracts as well. But you have to learn what a contract is. Are they enforceable? Yes. Now, people say, I'm going to get a billing company. Please do so. Billing companies are good. We used it for a while. But billing companies started changing. They started changing. And the fact was that once they came in, they started telling you how many people you needed to put in there. And a percentage of your students was going to them. And if you did not enroll 10 students per month more, or 20, or a percentage, whatever percentage they wanted, they were going to remove that percentage anyway. So be careful on which way you go with that. Okay. People also wanted on the business side of things, and this can be a horror story of doing automatic draft from their bank accounts. That's fine. Okay. But there's legalities for that as well. Okay. Now, we got the contracting out of the way. I suggest you should have a contract 6 months, a year, period minimum. That gives you the obligation. That gives them the obligation that both of you are going to come in and you're going to, not only are they going to train, but you're also going to teach and you're going to maintain a place to teach that is adequate for the instruction for that individual that comes in. So we got that out of the way. Now, let's go into maintaining students. Okay. Savate is an off the chart martial art. Okay. It's not like most martial arts out there that you get a black belt and you can give rank. In Savate, you get a silver glove and you can't give rank. You have to become a aide monitor before you can start giving rank. Monitor and professor after that. So you have to have those levels of teaching before you can give rank. Okay. So when people join a martial arts school, I don't care whether it's karate, taekwondo, savate, whatever it is, they want to produce, they want to see elements that they have grown. Okay. And by that meaning you have to test them. How your association, how your federation, how they do their tests and their curriculum and how they govern that usually comes from a rule of a governing body. This is the set curriculum. You have to know this for this level and so on and so forth. So when you want to keep and maintain students, you have to produce that. You can't just say, oh, well, if I think you're this level, I'm going to sign off the line and go in there without you having the curriculum. It doesn't work that way. We live in a society that needs that in front. Why? Because we have way too many martial arts that have already shown precedents for that. And if there's such a thing as a pedagogy, as a full-blown curriculum for somebody to start gaining rank within a martial art, within a fighting system, whatever it is, you have to produce that. Because if you don't, then you're going to look like if you're just a fly-by-night. Okay, no, that's number one. You want to maintain and keep students. I tell this and I tell this to all instructors. Whether you're male or female, do not go out with the students. Stop that. Stop that quick. Okay. And if you have students that are pestering women to go out or vice versa, stop that. I'm going to tell you why. It'll ruin the school. Okay. You, as a martial artist, already have a reputation. As a school owner, you're going to have another reputation. And it depends on how you produce. Remember, you're always going to have the haters and you're going to have the people that owe money that are going to talk bad about the school. And that happens all the time. Okay. You're going to have people that will come in and give an excuse. Hey, professor, I can't pay this month. My transmission blew out. And if you're a nice guy, you tell them, keep on working out, pay me when you can. That's usually what I do. 2 months go by, 3 months go by, 4 months go by. You tell them, hey, can you're late 4 months. I understood the problem. Can you pay a little bit in there? Try to be nice about them. Don't kick them out. Try to be nice about them. What happens? They tell you, you know what? You're not going to get anything. You're an asshole. I thought you were my friend. Now you want to charge me. That occurs. So you have to maintain a business line. If there's tuition monies involved, do so, because not only that, you have to maintain and keep open the school for the other people that have a contractual agreement with you. Not only that, for you to make money, for you to have a livelihood, if that's going to be your vocation. Okay, so that's produce number one. Do not date or get involved with students or the moms of students or what have you. Understand? That's a big no-no. Before, I know a lot of my colleagues in martial arts, the first thing they do is all of a sudden you start seeing them there, but hey, that's their problem. But people are not going to trust you. Believe me, they're not going to trust you. Okay, Next, in producing, are you going to have a martial arts school that's going to be competitive? Let me tell you what I say, competitive. Are you going to be a martial arts school that's going to be taking your students, a Savate school, to competition? Well, in the United States, there's no competition. So next best thing, are you going to join USA Boxing for you to take them amateur-wise? Or an amateur kickboxing association for you to get that competition inside them? If you are, learn the rules. If you are, not only do you need competitors as a team, you also need a crew as judges. Believe what I say, judges. So your bouts of your students don't get ripped off, because they will do that. Understand that. So take that seriously. Just don't tell the person, "Oh, you're going to do fine. We're going to go into this bout. We're going to go into this match. You're going to go fight and ring in 2 weeks, and you're going to do fine." All of a sudden, they get their ass kicked. Well, what have you produced? You produced a loss. You produced a person that will more likely has lost confidence in you. His associates, his family is going to look at you and your school as mediocre. Okay, and it all depends on how that fighter got damaged. If he got very severely damaged, well, guess what's going to happen to your school? The reputation is going to go down. Now, here's another one. If you start producing competitors that are winning, the reputation of your school is going to go up. As you know, that's the school that I want to be at in competition wise. Now, martial arts, people come to you to learn how to fight. Are you teaching them to defend themselves? Okay. Be serious about this question. Okay. Because are you actually teaching your students to defend themselves in the street? Be truthful. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you are, and one of them gets involved in an altercation in the street, the outcome of that is going to determine your reputation as a martial arts. Listen to what I said. Their outcome in the street is going to determine your reputation as a martial arts. If you have a bunch of kids out there and you're giving them a bunch of rank, and the schoolyard bully comes around and beats them around, that's a reputation the martial arts school is going to get. Period. If they go out there and defend themselves and win, that's the reputation you're going to get. Now, remember this, not everybody's going to win. But if they respect that individual for standing up, that's the name of the martial arts school that it's going to get. That's just the way it is. Okay? Be serious. Be at 100% at peace and with all 100% passion with you inside, because not only that, your crew and your school is going to grow. Okay? If you are down in disappointment, deception, you really don't know how to grow about things, and you have forgotten how to grow the school, you're kind of dwindling in and out, that energy is passed on to your students and so on and so forth. So always be happy for teaching. Always go out there with a smile. Always go out there and joke. Don't make fun of, but joke with everybody. Okay? Okay? Become a unit, a family. Become a place where people want to go to and spend time. Okay? Because if the place is glum, well, guess what? People are going to leave. They're going to find happiness somewhere else. Okay? I hope what I told you, what I said, those few words, those are experiences of mine. And I wrote a book on a bunch of stuff of do's and don'ts, and it's called Walk Like a Band Dog and Not a Shih Tzu. We're going to be making another print on. So if you want to order that, drop us an email at buitronacademy2012@gmail.com. Press subscribe. We're back on track. And once more, you all stay safe, be safe. Till next time.
Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo. Buitron Academy, 956-401-4868. Savate.biz.